Hello and welcome to my third chess analysis video. Today I'll be going over a game I played as white versus AlbertoMolinari, rated 1055 from Italy. I'm rated 1081 at the start of this game. Anyway, we're going right into it. So we had a Queens Gambit Accepted. I always respond with e4. He plays the move e5 here. I didn't know what to play here, so I just pushed the pawn, trying to control the center still, realizing that now afterwards and looking at the analysis, I probably should have played knight f3. So he goes, makes this pawn move, trying to hold on to that c4 pawn, because it's a very common idea for the light squared bishop to take on c4. So he's trying to hold on to it. I continue to develop. He plays c6, challenging the center. Again, this move was kind of greedy. I probably should have just continued to develop. Again, the engine doesn't like it, and it kind of like opens me up to some counterplay. So he takes, I take back. I probably shouldn't have taken back, because if he does take the e-pawn with that, I'll just take his queen, and now he'll have to move his king and be unable to castle. So that would have probably been better for me. He continues to develop. I play this pawn move, trying to prevent his dark squared bishop coming to b4 and giving me a check. He takes the center control pawn with his queen. I go for the queen trade. He recaptures with the knight. Again, the evaluation bar's got me a little behind here. So I just play bishop to e2, just getting my bishop off the back rank and preparing to castle. So he pushes this pawn, really attacking my queen side. I take with the pawn. Again, I probably should have taken with the bishop, the other pawn, because that would gain tempo on the knight. He's going to have to move it, and then I could probably just take that pawn anyway after he moves the knight. But if I capture with the pawn, I get checked, block with the bishop. He takes. I'm okay with trading the bishop. It was pretty active. And now I'm attacking that pawn. I didn't expect this move, but I saw free chow, so I took it. Okay. When he castles, this is a move. Again, like, I couldn't believe I was given 2 free chows in a row. Like, I know I need to castle to connect my rooks, but I thought that knight was going to be pretty safe there. But before I move it, I do need to castle to connect my rooks. So he offers a trade of bishops, and I take it. I castle, and I use that opportunity to castle, so now my rooks are connected. Sorry, I'm looking through my notes here as I go. Oh, hold on. This was one thing I was talking about. The move here, bishop to f3 would have pinned the knight to the rook, and he would have been in more of a. The computer likes this move. Obviously, he can move his other rook to defend it. I haven't really gone too deep into the theory here, but that would have been a computer suggesting it. I can kind of see where it's coming from. Instead of just trading off pieces, probably should be looking for a better move instead of just quickly like, all right, let's just trade. But as you can see, I did trade, move my knight, and then my theory here, or my thinking here, was connect the knights. So now they're protected. There's no pawns that can threaten either of them. So he's going to have to at least trade if he tries to take one, and then the rooks aren't going to capture him, because then they would just be captured by the other knight. So he moves in. As I was going to say before, I'm okay with this. The trade here, because it really opens up that queen side, and I'm already thinking about pushing the pawn. Here, I'm threatening, or I start thinking about threatening a back rank mate. Just thinking, what are my options? Like, let's see if he hangs it, and then danger levels, like he's going to have to act on this. He can't defend the knight, or he can't attack the right now because he'd hang checkmate. So we trade, and he opens it up. So little disappointed no hanging a back rank checkmate today. So I move my knight back. I see that I got that pass pawn completely alone and unafraid on the queen side. I'm going to try to get my rook behind it and then push it to promotion. So the more pieces that come off the board here, the better it's going to be for me. I feel like my ed games are stronger than a lot of players around my rating. So he moves his rook to put more pressure on the knight. I move my king in to defend the rook when they start coming off the board. He takes, I take, trying to get him to trade. He threatens the pawn. I guard the pawn. He's starting to push his pawns, and I want to get my king in to escort this pawn. So he came off attacking the pawn, so I'm going to use this opportunity to move it. Gives me a check, not really worried about it. So I'm just going to get closer. This just allows me to get closer to my pawn. So now he's attacking the pawn, but I have this gives me king c3, which is going to defend the pawn, and then allow me to set up this, where now I'm forcing his rook away. So he goes and tries to gobble up my pawns, but as he gobbles up my pawn is just too quick to promote, and now he's in trouble. He, right here, the computer's saying checkmate 6. Like, I can't calculate 6 moves in my head right now, but he gives me a fork, which I'm just going to take the free rook, and then from here I just check him, and at this point he resigns. Some notes to take away from this game. Next time that I'm faced with this position, I'm just going to play knight f3 instead. Here on move 15, gobbling up this free chow. Puts my knight on the edge of the board, and kind of takes it out of play for a little bit. It worked out fine in the end, but not generally a smart thing to do. What else? All right, last thing. This was setting up like a winning train. I had identified that I feel like I have the advantage. The computer might say it's a draw, but at our level, like, we're not that smart, and I have that pass pawn on the outside with just rooks and 2 knights, so the less pieces that are on the board, the more advantageous it's going to be for me to be able to win this endgame. All right, that was my 3rd game of analysis. Thanks for watching.